Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. So today is a plan with me. Hopefully we can get through this plan with me roughly quick. I got a couple of things coming up, but nothing too like demanding. Let me take a bite of this bar because I'm starving, y'all. My goodness. Okay, so montage, speeding it up. What just happened? So like I said, today we're gonna do a plan with me. My TN looks slightly different. I've been working on it. I've been trying to personalize it, make it mine, fall in love with it. I love it, but what I mean is I'm trying to, make it like something that I gravitate to mostly. I'm still finding that as much as I like being in a bullet journal, some part of me does like that easier like just access to having all the dates, having everything basically laid out for me not having to do a sit down, a setup, none of that. And it makes me want to gravitate towards my rings. So for just for now, I set up my rings. I sat down and I rearranged. I took out things that I didn't need, that I wasn't touching. I set it up and I just sat it there. So when that itch comes, I will open that and I will think about it. But I've been really enjoying this. So that's what we're gonna plan in. So yeah, added a patch, nothing major, added a patch, and redid my return to sender card because I don't know, I wasn't feeling the red, changed it to green. Redid my food journal. I was finding that I just needed lines. I needed to have those lines. The blank was just throwing me off a little bit. Stuff started looking crazy in there. So I opted to get a lined one. So I just went in my stash and quick grabbed a lined one. And then added this little, I don't know if this is a butterfly or a bumblebee. I'm gonna say a bumblebee, but I added this on here. So those are some little deco updates. So nothing major, nothing, grand. So let's go into our weekly book. So I'm thinking about ordering some more of these. I asked my husband, I was like, would you be mad if I ordered notebooks? And he said no. So I'm thinking about ordering some more of these. I haven't touched this one yet. But I'm thinking about ordering more of them because I really like them. But I'm noticing that I'm using a lot of pages. I think that's why I jumped into the Leuchtturm, because bigger canvas and then I had room to write. So anyway, let's check out this week. So this is this week. This is this week. And basically, this week was kind of like all over the place. Like we did stuff. We went grocery shopping. We cleaned out our pantry. We cleaned the house. We did a whole lot of stuff, but it doesn't feel like we did a whole lot of stuff. So I'm going to update for stuff that we did today. I want to make sure that I'm in frame 2. So I don't know if I can zoom out enough. Okay, so hopefully that's not too bad. So I'm just gonna update what we did, or what I did. So today is Sunday. We did house chores today. I took my medications. I checked my emails, AM, PM. And right now we're doing planning routine, and I have not read today. I know that I will. On my little goal tracker thing, I set out some goals to hit this week. We did not get the basement cleaned. It just feels like that is a daunting task, a task that I don't necessarily want to do, but I know I need to do it because my friend is coming, I want to say after Mother's Day weekend, and I'm just like, ugh, this basement. So yeah, I am not the hosty type person. I really just do not host. I don't do that. But my friend really wanted to come, and I'm going to do that. So I did not finish the book club book today. So I'm going to leave it because I will read. I do end up reading like when I'm getting ready for bed and stuff. So I do end up reading. So I'm going to like leave that off. But I'm going to pull out my markers that I just kind of throw into this flipping Ziploc bag. So I use these. Those are for my trackers. And then I want to say it might either be this one or this one. One of those, definitely one of those, is what I will use. And then I want to say, so I'm just going to mark off all the things that I missed. So I didn't do anything on Monday. I was a lazy bum on Monday and Wednesday and Friday and Saturday. I forgot to take my medications on Wednesday and Friday, and I didn't touch my planner at all. I touched it, but I didn't really plan anything on Friday, and then I didn't read it all on Monday. And so doing that just visually lets me see, like, am I even doing what I said I was gonna do? And then, okay, so out of all of the stuff that I have on my goal sticky note, did I write on myself? My goodness. So anyway, out of all the stuff that I have on my goal sticky note, I managed to get 3 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 5. So I'm going to just highlight where I am in progress. Not necessary, but you know. So I would say about right there. And then maybe a little ways. I like to just break it up with different colors. Mother sucker. Has anyone done that and then been mad at themselves? Like, what the? That's just me just now. All right, so yeah, that is my little 1-2 for that. Like, what the fudge? Did I write on anything? Not that I would change it, but it would definitely piss me off. I know I dotted it right there. That's not really a big deal. But jeez Louise. Jesus. Okay. Next thing on my list of updates. So I'm just going to add in my weather for today. If you haven't noticed, I haven't touched my planner today. So a lot of this would already be done. But I haven't touched it. Today was 61 over 58. So 61 over 58. And it was sunny and cool. Okay. And then nothing, like, usually I would only put in stuff that might, you know, like pertain into like stuff we do outside the house. So like maybe we grocery shopping, or like if I have a Peloton class, which I actually do have a Peloton class. Peloton class today at, what time is it now? I'm going to try to push this class to 7p, 8p. That's the only thing. And this is class 3, week 2. So I only have this week, today and tomorrow to finish it. So that's what I do there. So nothing is major there. Next week, however, I ended up realizing that I had scheduled an appointment in my home state for an eye doctor's appointment, and I realized I will not be there. I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to push that appointment back into like sometime late June, or if I'm just going to cancel it. So I think that I have this here. I put this here to be a visual so that I remember call and cancel appointment. I don't really like this sticker being here, so I might end up moving it. I just might keep that there. I might just end up moving this. So let me see. If it comes up easy, cool. If not, then oops. So I'll just go ahead. And I often do stuff like this in my planners. I'm just like, you know, sometimes you lay stickers down and you just don't like them, but it's not the end of the world. We will be okay. So I'm going to pull this up because I don't like it. And I'm going to put it on a sticky note instead. I feel like that is more suitable. And I feel like my page will look a lot cleaner. All right. So that's gone. If I could, I'd go back and remove like this. Not that it's not necessary, but you know, I don't know. I'm just kind of pushing away from like all of that kind of stuff. But I am going to write in here that my husband goes back to work, so I at least know. So, husband goes back to work today. Okay. Some other things that due. So my mom's phone bill is due on Wednesday. Her phone bill is due on Tuesday. So mom's phone bill due today. I'm trying to think. I know there's always stuff that's due. Something is due. I would be jumping. So the good thing about this insert is that the weeks are side by side. So definitely helpful when like just forward planning, which is something that I tend to do when I do my plan with me's, or not plan with me's, when I do my sit downs and plan for the week or the current week or whatever. I usually will bounce between like weeks like this or months like this, and this is just because at the time that information is just swirling around in my head, and so if I don't write that stuff down like right now, I will forget. It's just inevitable. I will forget, and then I'll think about it like somewhere down the line. I still have to cancel what is it? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'll sit here and I'll think of something and I'm like, dang, what was the name of it? HelloFresh. Check HelloFresh. HelloFresh. Today. Okay. So that's my little note there. Next week is Easter. I think this is Good Friday. I don't know. I don't have... Dang, I don't have, actually I do, but I'm not about to pull it out. I think next Sunday is Easter. This Sunday. So this weekend, I think, is Good Friday. And then this is Easter Monday, the 21st. And then this is Easter. So, is that right? Let me double check. Let me check on it. Let me see. Because I really don't know. Like, dang. Do I got a calendar somewhere? Calendar. This will tell me for sure. Oh, you guys. That thing is going to take forever to pop up. I'm not pulling that out. Okay, so I have this little calendar in here. I should use it, right? I should use it. I'm going to use it. So let's see. And this is why I have this, because when you don't have dates, this comes in handy. Okay, so we're in April, right? April. Let's see. Okay, so I was right. The 18th is Good Friday. And then Easter is on the 20th. And then Easter Monday is on the 21st. Okay, that's all I needed to know, because for some reason, I don't know why I kept thinking Easter was not this coming week, but the week, I don't know. I kept thinking it was like the week after the 21st, which clearly isn't. It's not true. Yeah, if you guys ever wonder what the heck was in this pocket, it's literally like this little calendar, which saves my life, as we just saw, because I was able, what is happening? What? Go in there and go peacefully. Just go peacefully. When we get on camera, we act a fool. It saves my life because, like we just saw, I couldn't remember what the heck. And if I don't have my phone like active for me to see it, child, I won't even know. So, okay, so it's Good Friday. Good Friday today. And then Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday holiday. And then on Saturday, I know for a fact on Saturday, our landlords, I don't know what the heck, a newer version of Outlook. My computer is doing updates, funky updates, all in the same time. Saturday, we have our landlords. So, oops. Let's just ignore that. I don't know what it says. Landlords come to install smoke detectors. Smoke detectors today. So yeah, our landlords are coming to install smoke detectors. Friday, I think we're gonna have a family day. So I'm just gonna mark that in. Family day today. To aquarium. Oh my God. I cannot spell today. I'll know what it means. But anyway, that's what I think is happening. Oh, and then Friday is also garbage day. So garbage day today. I get to sleep in on the weekend, so I could note that in here. I like to mark when my days are and when my husband's days are. I get to sleep in. I get to sleep in this weekend. Smiley face. This week, while he was home, we took turns sleeping in because, you know, my son gets up on a schedule. We change him in the middle of the night, and just, you know, we're tired. We're just tired. Now, you guys, you have kids, you know. Y'all know. You be tired, child, tired. So yeah, we didn't always do this, but we started doing it because we realized we just need that break. We just need time to just sleep and catch up on the sleep that we miss. So we take turns. So one weekend he sleeps in, and then one weekend I sleep in. And on those days, whoever is sleeping in is the person who is not sleeping in. I'll do like the potty training, changing, all that good stuff. I'll do that, and the other person can stay asleep. That way nobody's breaking their sleep. And we did that so we could prevent accidents, because when we weren't changing my son in the middle of the night, or we weren't like doing the whole potty thing in the middle of the night, we'd wake up to a surprise of like wet sheets, wet clothes, wet baby. And so now we're potty training, so we definitely change him. We definitely do the potty training thing, like at bath time and stuff. But then we also change him right before bed, and then like when we go to bed, because he goes at 8, and sometimes we don't go at that time. So we change him right before bed, and then somebody who is usually the first one up, which is my husband. He gets up at like 6:30. He changes my son again. So that's just to prevent any accidents that might happen. And then, yeah, I'll get up and do the morning routine, and we'll do the whole potty training thing all over again. But whoa, man, is it hard sometimes. All right, so I rambled. So basically that's how I do this. I don't need to go back into this and pull anything from here, because usually it looks like this at the start of the week anyway, and then technically what I'll do is throughout the week, I'll just put in notes, randoms that pop up, things that I need to remind myself of. That kind of stuff will just randomly get dumped here, and I'll just keep moving on with life. So this right now is good to go. The only other thing that I'm going to do before I kind of forget is I'm going to update this. So I did start updating this. This one is the reading log, and I think it was this marker. So basically all I'm doing is highlighting. I somewhat wish I didn't highlight. I somewhat wish I just crossed it off, but I wanted everything to look the same. Yesterday was the 11th. No, I'm sorry, the 12th. Yeah, I read yesterday. I read yesterday quite a bit. I want to say I read on Friday too. Let me see. Did I read on Friday? Yeah. And see, that's the reason why I have some of these trackers too, because I can't always remember. Like, I can't always remember if I did something. So at least if I'm tracking it in another place, I'll be able to catch up with whatever I'm trying to keep. Because see, I'll more than likely throw the sticky notes away, but these I'll probably hole punch and archive them with the rest of my tracker stuff that I was using earlier this year for my ring bound system. So which one is this? The reading. Okay, so the next one I would have to update is my workout log, which I don't have to update at all at the moment because I haven't done my last class for this week. I'm in a 3-week program. And so there's 3 classes each week, and you have 7 days to complete. Those of you who do the Peloton, you know what I'm talking about. You know how they structure their program classes. So technically, I wouldn't have a class today, but I need to get this class done because I'm trying to keep all the classes basically within those weeks. Like, I'm trying to keep them together so the class doesn't spill over, so one week doesn't spill over into another week, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the little housekeeping stuff with that. I don't know what I was about to say there. And then this is my daily book. This has been so fun to use. This is this week. And I have already started checking. I checked off a lot of this stuff like the other day. I'm making sure that I'm still in frame. I checked off a lot of this stuff the other day, and a lot of this stuff I have not checked off or won't check off because I just don't know. So I kind of just leave things as they are. In terms of working on the basement, which is, like I said here, it's like a goal. It was on a goal sticky note. We did not, we started it, but we will need to transfer it because we didn't finish. And we only started because we hooked up our deep freezer. And then in terms of like working on future plans, I've already marked it to transfer to next week. As far as self-care goes, I didn't get time to do like my nails and like maintenance type stuff. So I'm just going to try and do it next week when I get a little bit more time. Cleaning out the fridge, I did it yesterday. And then planning projects, I did those. The planning projects that I was talking about for myself for this week was I was working on setting this up, and then I was working on my personal rings. Because like I said, I totally 100% love a bullet journal, and that is where I'm happiest. But then there's that part of me that's just like, you still have to do all of this setting up, and it just raffles my brain that I don't want to do that because I'm a lazy planner and I like things to be ready and good to go. I don't know what the third quarter, the second half of the year, let's just say that. I don't know what July all the way to December will look like. I don't know if I'll go into a coil bound system. I don't know if I'll stay into this. If you guys know, then you know. I don't typically change from the way that I plan. What I use though, I will change. And honestly, if I'm being quite frank, if you have followed me for some time, you know that when I get into a planner that I really enjoy, I don't change at all. Like when I used the Plum Planner like a year or two ago, I used that. I switched out of something that I was using and I jumped into a Plum Planner and I never turned back. And that was my sole planner for a long ass time. You guys know. If you know, you know. But they just became too pricey for me to keep up with. And so I had to, and then after I ruined my inserts and then had to switch to Happy Planner, I had to let that go. So I have struggled to find a system that I really liked, like the Plum Planner. Like I've just struggled to find that. I've settled into bullet journals because bullet journals offer me the most flexibility, but they don't always give me what I want. Like I don't like setting up weeks. Sometimes I don't like the fact that all my daily pages can't be together. I don't like that even if I'm using booklets, at some point I'm gonna have to switch these booklets. And like I just know myself. Like I like what I like. I like all my stuff together. My planning system, my style of planning, the way that I do things does not change. But I think that it's just, it's a challenge trying to find something that you vibe with. And when you vibe with something, I think that you're more prone to stay with that. But man, it takes a little bit of time getting used to like new stuff you haven't used, stuff you revisit. It just takes time. It takes time to find your put your feet down and like stay put. It just takes a little bit of time. I don't necessarily, it means that you're just bored. For me, it just means that I'm having a difficult time with either the way that I like to move. Like when I'm in this, sometimes this can become an annoyance. Like you're bouncing between book one and then book two, and then you need to see something from here, but your work, like that kind of thing. But it's the same thing with any bullet journal. That's just like my only cons. But yeah, I'm happy in a bullet journal because of that, the flexibility. But man, have I been like, if I could just create my own planner, but I ain't got the patience for that. Anyway, balance the bank account. I think my husband did this because I asked the other day. Create this, we don't need to create a fitness plan because me and my husband, we did this. We already know. Make a plan for YouTube content. This is we're going to transfer this to next week because I'm still trying to figure out what the heck can I do every week that will be different and not just me talking through a bunch of videos. And then work on new intro. I will definitely have to transfer that to next week. Updating my task of the week is what we're currently doing. And then when I'm done, I will transfer, or I will check it off as a completed task. Okay, so let's look at how this week looked. Can you stop rolling, please? So what was this? Monday. I always like to put little quotes and stuff down. I have one to put down today for Sunday, but I like to put these little quotes in here. Basically what I do is I just search Google. So when I'm feeling a particular way, and I'll just type in like funny quotes about Mondays, or funny quotes and like characters that I know, like if I want a Garfield quote, or if I want a Charlie Brown quote or whatever, I'll just search for like comic strips. And then when I find the ones that I like, I print those, size them, and paste them in. And I actually like doing this a lot better than just like typical stickers because these are so relevant to how I feel most of the time. And this one was about like a Monday and just like, yeah. This week, pretty simple. We went to Olive Garden. I think this was Thursday. We went on a Thursday. So we went to this Olive Garden, and our server was actually from our home state. Me and my husband, we ordered drinks, and I was pulling out my ID to show her, and she was just like, "You're from Ohio?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." And she's like, she was so thrilled that she ran into someone from Ohio, and I just thought that was just like funny. I just thought it was funny because I'm just like, I'm usually trying to tell people I'm not from Ohio. I know, but yeah, she thought that was funny. Our interactions, our conversation was just hilarious that whole time. So I wrote a little something about that little run in with our server. So yeah, good memory. That was a really fun memory. And then she was also military, or her husband is military. So even funnier for the rest of us, because we're like, well, that's usually how it works in the military. You come from every different place around the world, but somehow y'all all end up in the same area, or you cross paths. Like, it's funny. But anyway, that's a little tidbit. And then this was yesterday. Yesterday we had spaghetti. Hated it. I did not like the way it turned out. It's because we used Italian seasoning, and I don't know, it was very pungent, and I did not like it. So this is this day, and like I said, I have not touched my planner. So the weather today, all I'm gonna do is copy from what I did in here, and I missed a couple of things, so I'm gonna go back and do those too. 61 over 58. I'm gonna turn this 61 over 58, and it is, I'm watching my neighbors. They're walking across the street. That's funny. They got their kids and they're riding bikes. 60 over 58. It's sunny and cool out. For dinner today is leftovers, or free for all, because I definitely will not probably eat spaghetti. Peloton class today, haven't done it. I did take the AM medications. I did not call my mom today. I will call her tomorrow. Weekday plan with me. That's what we're doing right now. Update. Huh? Oh, trackers. Yes. Read the book club book. We can't check that off yet. Laundry, clothes. Get ready for the work week. That's in the process. Trash, pull the whole house. Haven't done that yet. And then some other things that I will probably add on here is wash the bedding. Wash bedding today, because my husband decided to do that. So I just like to keep note of it, that we did it, so that way I don't do it next week, because I would have did it next week or this week too, but he already did it, so I don't want to do it twice. We wash like the comforters and stuff like every other week, but we change the sheets every week. And so because you washed comforters, I don't want to redo that. I don't want to mess them up by like washing them too often. So I just try to remember when those things are done. I used to have a tracker for that in my rings. I don't have a tracker for that in this. There's something else that I needed to do, but it's not coming to mind. So basically, when I feel like I'm done, and if I'm not done, I'll just continue on to the next page, but I want to tape this in. I want to tape this in for the week. I'm going to put this here. And then I'll do my setup for the next week, because I don't think that I'm going to add anything else to my daily for today, like my daily log. I don't think I'm going to add anything else. It's pretty chill. I don't have a whole lot of sunlight, so I'm trying to do this plan with me in real time. I don't think that I'm going to speed it up at all. I think I'm just going to give it to you guys for what it is. I don't know. Hopefully the plan with me has become easier for me, at least, because I'm a little rusty at them. I used to do them quite a bit when we lived in Germany, when I was using the Chrono Plan system, which I really love. It is I want to say it's German. I want to say the inserts are German, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I was using that system for so long that I got so accustomed to that. And I just could not move to anything else. Oh man, I didn't think this was gonna be like right next to this spaghetti thing. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do it anyway. Y'all hear my son? Jesus, like what is happening, child? Yeah, I used to do. Okay, for a minute I thought I was about to spaz out, y'all. But anyway, I used to do Plan With Me's quite a bit back in that time. But I got away from those because it just took too much effort. That looks okay. All right, I'm gonna stop. But anyway, so there was some stuff that I missed. Let me do this first, and then I'll go backwards. So I gotta draw out this ICDT thing. This would be the thing. Let me grab it. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right. So like I said, I set up, I know this is completely off topic. I set up my personal rings just in case if that itch ever came back. I slimmed down a little bit, but I didn't slim down a whole lot. So we still fat. But the thing that I like, and I'm going to go there. The thing that I like about these day timer inserts specifically is this right here. This to be done spot. I love this because it is kind of like the ICDT method, except for it doesn't have the ICDT columns. But in here, I can categorize them because I can just, I can draw an extra line. That's not a problem. I can categorize them and I can check them off. It's basically a simplified master to-do list, but it is categorized for May. So instead of having like a weekly one, I would have a monthly one. So I like that. But I also like that in these day timer daily pages, that when you write notes for specific days, it has an indexing system at the end of, how long is May, y'all? It has an indexing system at the very end if we can ever get there. Yeah, so like I said, it has an indexing system where you can put the number, and then what I usually do, and this is what I do, I put the date. I don't put the number. I just put the date and then what the note was, because I can find a date faster than I can find what the heck is in these numbers. But I usually break up my notes in this area anyway. So hear me out. The Traveler's Notebook is great. And yes, bullet journaling is divine. But I will tell you, there are some features about being in a system like this. And like, I know I need to go back and continue de-chunkifying this. Like, why do I have 5 months in here? That's not necessary. We not worried about that right now. What we worried about is the system in itself. So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, some parts about, the ring bound system that is just very appealing, especially because I handpicked and specifically chose the day timer inserts for that feature. So yeah, I mean, that would be it for me if I chose that. All right, so let's go ahead and do the ICDT method. So what did it look like at the early parts of this? Okay, so I skipped a spot. So ICDT and then star. So we gotta have space for the star. So let's draw this line down. And honestly, I might have to take this book out. Yep, I'm gonna have to take this book out because it's not gonna work in here the way that I want. And that's another thing. When I gotta set up for the week, I gotta take this book out. Y'all know I'm lazy. I don't like to do stuff. I do a lot of stuff, but when it comes to planning, I'm a lazy planner. 1, 2, 3. So I, C, D, T, star. And then let's go ahead and draw this line. So hopefully you are getting a lot of inspiration from the plan with me, because I want to see, my whole goal is I want y'all to see how simple planning can be. It doesn't have to be very extravagant. I know we get on here and we look at everybody's planning style, routine. Are we still going? We're still going. Yes. Okay. But yeah, we get on here and we look at everybody's planning style, planning like how, all the inserts, all the things that they have. And we just, I don't know, for some reason, we just can't be happy with what we have. We just have to do what everybody else is doing. And in the end, we end up sabotaging ourselves. Because, like, why are we doing that? Why are we constantly trying to keep up with, what's popular? And I know that's not the case for a lot of people. A lot of people just use their stuff opposed to just following trends. But I will say that a lot of FOMO just comes from just watching other people's stuff, because you're watching what they have. You're watching what they have, and it's making you feel some kind of way about your own stuff. I know, because I've been there, I've done it. But I will say that finding a good size is completely different, because you could be completely happy in your system, but that size definitely matters. The way that you like to plan, like the things that you like to plan, that definitely matters, and it will change over time. Like what you use, how you use something. You might be in a bullet journal today, but you might not like that bullet journal a few, months from now, or however many months, days, weeks from now. You might not like that. So you have to think about that too. You have to think about all the things, because obviously that's what makes up this whole planning thing. Let's add this back in. Make sure this is right. And then let's pull these out. Perfect. I have these, so that, how they have that string in the middle? I have these going underneath so that they wrap around my inserts like this. And then these are on strings of their own. I don't think I ever mentioned that. This middle one is on the original string, and then I just kind of piggybacked these two like underneath. I don't know if I ever mentioned that, but if I have never, there's your explanation to how I have those piggybacked. Okay, so this is my ICDT method for the week. And then all I have to do is close this up and draw in, or write in rather, my ICDT. So ICDT and then star. And then this is task. Do I have a line across that I just didn't draw? I sure do. Dang, y'all. Dang. I gotta draw a line across task list for week. I think this is week 16. Week 16 now. Okay, let's see. Can I draw this without moving this too much? Maybe. Dang it. You know what? We just gonna leave it. We just gonna, it's gonna bother me. I'm gonna do it. Dang, that's what I'm talking about. This is why I don't like this, because, I love this system. I like this modular system, but I'm telling y'all, I'm such a lazy planner. This drives me a little nuts. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then the fact that I already kind of like drew this line. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just draw it across. It's not gonna be how I like it, but it will be okay. We will be fine. Okay, and then let's stop there. That wasn't that bad. I didn't leave any room to write like these little signifiers up top, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's fine. We will be okay. Life will go on. Plus, I don't think I really need to write the signifiers anymore because I'm so used to what I write anyway. I'm so used to it. So, it's just the middle. Dang, where's the middle? Am I in the middle? Okay. I'm so used to it anyway. I don't even have to do it anymore. Can I get my string back, please? Oh, goodness. Only thing I hate about modular systems is this right here. This slightly drives me a little nuts. I don't think that many people pull them out. I typically don't pull out the notebooks when I use them. For the planning part, yes, because if I don't, then my lines will be crooked. Not necessarily a problem, really, but if I'm planning, then it can become a problem because it'll be an eyesore to me and it'll bother me. All right, so you guys know what I do. So technically, from the last weekly thing, I will look at all of the things in a transfer column and then put them onto this list. And then I want to show you guys what I missed really quick though before I forget again, because I have a tendency to do that. So I'll show you that stuff first. So what I was mentioning earlier when we were in my weekly area, so I have these papers. I'm going to tape them down. This is the, actually, I'm not going to tape these down. I'm going to use sticky notes. These ones I printed out, but I have a few sticky notes left that I'm going to use like how I used for here. I have a few sticky note ones that I'm going to use and put them here. But I have like all of these other ones. So this is what I really like about the sticky notes and using them in your system to kind of, help with your day-to-day planning. So you can just break up the need of needing to have specific things all the time, like specific insert for this. You don't. You can do this with sticky notes. So I like the goal ones. Obviously, I like to set weekly goals for myself. So these really work. But if you don't want to do those, then they have task list ones. I'm going to get questions about this. I'm going to reference that I got these from Etsy more than 2 or 3 years ago at this point. When I go back to look, I cannot find the shop whatsoever. Like, I don't know if they just don't do these anymore. But you can find similar ones like this by just typing in functional sticky notes printable or printable functional sticky notes. You can find the same ones, so, or similar if not same. So you just have to use keywords. I get questions all the time about things that I have or have done or am using, and I'm just like, come on y'all, like let's put our thinking caps on and let's think about some keywords. Because I can't link everything and I can't demonstrate everything that I have done in recent videos because I don't either have those tools or I did that on a whim. And so it's like I don't have all the things to re-demonstrate, re-show. So I'm trying to show you the best way that I know. And I get like questions about these sticky notes all the time. And I'm just like, I got them from Etsy. They're practical functional sticky notes. Keywords is principal and then functional sticky notes. So hopefully that helps. But I like to use these goal ones. If not the goal ones, I have the task list ones, which are similar to the goal ones. They just have a task and then deadline opposed to an action plan and then deadline. which is what I think I should be doing. But I like to check off the progress bar. I like to do that because I'm a visual person and the visuals help. And then these weekly ones, you guys have already seen those. The other ones that I like, so I'm using dailies, and the dailies do not have a timeline. Yes, I could draw a timeline, but that will take up space. So easy way to get around that is I have these AM PM like schedule sticky notes, and you can use these. I don't want to jumble up my sticky notes, so let me do that. You can use these little timeline ones. So say for instance, if I have, like if I wanted to make a schedule for today, then I have this sticky note that I can literally just tape down. And then I would literally have like a schedule. And you don't have to tape it down right away. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just leave it there and just, this is my schedule and I see my schedule. Or, you could tape it down right away. You could tape it on the side and then fold it over so that it folds out. So you can see it that way so that it sticks out. So instead of going all the way back to this book, you could tape it here, date it, and then that way you can see which day you're on and then see what your schedule is. There's a few ways that you can use these things, and I wanted to be able to show you guys that because I don't know, I was just sitting here one day and I was like, this is so practical. I should do a whole thing about sticky notes because I was like, this is just so practical and so useful. As far as the notes one though, I am going to add a note one for here. I don't know if I want to use the grid ones or the lines. Let's use the grid ones. I need to write a note about canceling an appointment that I scheduled. I'm losing sunlight, so I'm going to try to speed this up as fast as I can. I need to do that. And then I also have, we could be all day with this plan with me because I still have to update my food journal. I still have to put in my ICDT tasks, like transfer stuff, and then I will eventually set up my day page. But I wanted to give you guys more of a realistic of like what a sit down, what a plan with me actually looks like. So I'm going to pull from here, and then I'm going to set up a new weekly goal for here, and then all I'm going to do is tape them to the page, and then of course I'll move them over when I need to move them over. So yeah, let's move that really quick. So the week is the 15th, 16th. What week is it? The 16th. Look at me. Almost messed that up. So the 16th, and then I always label these get it done because get it done. This week is the basement. And star because it's important. This week we have our landlord's coming on Saturday. I don't know what time they're coming, so I don't want to start a project and then not be able to do it. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna slap a date on it. How many days is in April? I'm gonna say to the 30th. And then if I see that I didn't do it, I'll transfer it. So I'm going to say 4/30. And then Peloton class. And this needs to be done by 4/27. What is that? 20, 21, 22, 22. 4/22. And this is number 3. So that would be the 3rd week. And then the other thing on here that I had in my dailies that I didn't, or I'm sorry, my other goal. The other thing is I need to finish this book club book because we have a club meeting next Sunday. Not this Sunday, that's Easter, but the following, so the 27th. And I'm using my Spotify credits to listen, and so I know that they renew at a certain time of this month, so I'm trying to finish this book beforehand, because I want to start. There's something else that I'm trying to read with another member of my book club, and we're reading it together, so I want to start that. So 4/25 is when I need to have the book club book, and then partnership book, and I want to have this started by, I'm going to give myself by Wednesday, so 4/16 for that, and then I'm going to stop there because I don't know what else. This one is the same as it is every single week, and it's like medications, it's workout, it's AM routines, PM routines, is planning, reading, and then usually I wouldn't put this on here, but I'm trying to set water goals for myself. So I'm gonna say at least 50-ounce water because I've been struggling with that. And then 2-hour, at least 3-hour break from social media. Maybe more than that. No social PM. That's how I want to do it. No social PM. And I just want to try this because social media has stressed me the hell out, as most people. And I'm so sick of the news. I'm just so sick of every single thing that is happening right now. And it's just, gosh, it's so debilitating to like turn on Facebook or turn on YouTube. And it's just, if y'all know, it's exhausting. So I don't need to really, oh my goodness, I don't really need to go too into detail about that. But y'all know it's debilitating because it's all day, every day. All right, so I'm probably going to stop my plan with me here only because I'm losing sunlight and I don't want to fumble with trying to get lighting, changing the stupid thing. Okay, so I at least have this. This is for week 16. I'm working on week 16. That's the only reason why I didn't kind of like tape it into week 16. But when this week is kind of over, I'll transfer these back over to here, and then vice versa. Like when this week comes along and I have to do this for the current week, I'll just slap them on top of these on this side because I won't be using that. And then I think when May starts, instead of doing the weekly ones, I think I'm going to use the monthly trackers that I have, because that will save me space in here. Or I might end up creating a pencil board, which I think would be better. I might create a pencil board and then use the pencil board to tape sticky notes onto. So I might do that. If I do that, I'll let you guys know. Maybe we can do like a fun little create DIY with me, but I'll sit down and I'll probably do that. In terms of this, I won't bore you guys with this because technically all that I'm going to do is take, and maybe we can do it really quick before we lose sunlight, just so for those of you who are new to my channel for the first time, you've never seen this process, I'll show you. So technically what I'm going to do, or what I do, is these are columns, ICDT. I get questions about this all the time. I made a video on it. So I'm just going to start linking that planner DIY, or not DIY, that planner tutorial video. I'm just going to start linking that and referring those questions to that video because it literally breaks down what the ICDT method is. But for right now, for reference, I is for in progress, C is for canceled, D is for done, T is for transfer, and the star symbol, which is new, is for anything that is high level important. So like need to get done this week. So from last week, what I have on here is work on my future plans. Um, there are some future plans that I have going on. Like I need to make some dental appointments. I obviously need to make another eye appointment, but for here where I'm at in this state. I also need to work on my son's birthday trip and our trip home. So I need to start, doing that. So it's still a star and it is work on future plans. I know what this one is. Clear basement. And you'll notice that I like to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite things over and over again. This helps so much because say for instance, if I'm here and I'm not in this part of my planner, I have no indication of what my goal is or what, so it just kind of reiterates. It's just a constant reminder to myself of what the heck needs to be done. So that way it's like it's nagging myself in a sense because I keep seeing it. So clear the basement. That's obviously something that needs to be done. I need to, this isn't from last week, but I need to finish my reading journal. Finish reading journal. I printed out these little book like covers. I read a lot of stuff. I read The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I read Evil in Me by Brahm. I read Rapture. I read this last year, but I read it again because I like it. I also read Kenan Thompson's When I Was Your Age. I read this last year, but I read it again just for fun. BioShock, Rapture, I read those again because I really like those. Sky Full of Elephants. These ones are book club books. These ones here are the ones that I have read by myself, but these ones are actual book club books. Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. This is the book that we're currently reading. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. That is a book from our book club that we read. I hated it, completely hated it. The Trouble with Love by Christina C. Jones, another book that I actually picked that I hated it. And Who's That Girl by Eve. Books that my book club picked that I hated. So the only issue that I have is like my book club, they very, very much so, they try really hard to be diverse in their book choosing, but lately it's just like, ugh, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. So yeah, to that, I try to read a diverse slew of books. I don't like all ethnic books, and I don't read. I'm not critical, or not critical. What's the word? What's the meaning? I am not picky in the type of genre. Like, I don't just choose ethnic books. I like books that are way outside of that. So, like, yes, I do read urban books, but I like, other books. I like thrillers. I like scary books. I just like a slew of things. I like manga books. I have a very wide range of different things that I like to read. And it kills me that my book club solely picks somewhat of an urban selection of books. Even when we do stuff for like the different months, like we do the different holidays, the different things that we celebrate, they still have a hard time picking a different, type of book. But yeah, that's the only issue that I have with my book club. But so future reading log, and then, or future reading journal, finish reading journal, I'm sorry. And then I need to finish cleaning out my phone storage. Clean out phone storage because I have a lot of stuff in there that needs to go. I need to make a new meal plan. Okay, so these are some things that are not necessarily on the list anymore because A lot of that I didn't really have to transfer, but I do have them in a transfer column, and if I find them necessary, I'll transfer them. I transferred what I needed to transfer from that list. So now I'm gonna go off the top of my head and think of some of those big things. So I need to make a meal plan for this week. Make meal plans for week 16. And then I also need to cancel cancel eye appointment 25th April. And there was something else that I needed to do. Oh, I'm going to change my intros. These are not quite important, but important enough for me. So I'm going to do intro / outro updates for YouTube. And yeah, those are the only things that I'm going to add in here at this time. Later on, I'm going to fill out my food log. I'll show you guys really quick. I'm losing sunlight like nobody's business. I switched over to this. I transferred everything over into this. The lines just make reading everything so much better. So I'm gonna fill out today's food log from everything that I ate. This is done. This is done. I'm going to write my note in here, but I'll do this off camera. It's basically just another reminder telling me to cancel eye appointment in Ohio, because obviously I'm not in Ohio. I'm going to finish out my daily page from today, just checking off stuff as I finish things. And then I'm going to fill in my daily page for tomorrow. And then that will be the end of the whole initial setup. There's a nice little montage of that. I like doing that. That's really fun. One of the perks of being in Bookbound is, you can do that, and it's a really nice little flip. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed the plan with me. I hope that it was super duper informal. I know this one is very, very, very long, probably the longest plan with me I've ever done, but I hope you guys enjoy it nonetheless. I thank you guys for having a little bit of your time just sitting, listening to me chat, hanging out with me, and hopefully we can do this again next week. So once again, have a wonderful week, you guys, and have a wonderful Easter. We're not going to do a video on Sunday, but hopefully we can get something up before that holiday, because I know you guys are going to be spending it with family like I will. So yeah, I thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, loves.